Okay, ring culture, is Giannis overrated? Let's talk about it.
Don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion.
Okay, ring culture, welcome back to Ring Culture, where we play no games, we just spit game about the game we love. Before we get into this video, go over to my reaction page, the Nuclear Reactor. The link will be in the description, and check out my sports reactions. Y'all will really love those. But back over here at Ring Culture, Rob G, the Odd Couple, have been covering a lot of the NBA because the preseason is fully in swing and the NBA season is almost here. I hope it's going to be a good season because y'all know, if y'all been watching this channel for a minute, that I'm not real big on today's NBA. But I will say the last 2 years, the playoffs have been really good, so that's a good sign. But the commissioner is doing his best to destroy the NBA, so we'll see what happens. I'm not a fan of the in-season tournament. I think that's gimmicky nonsense. I don't know why you have to incentivize players who are already getting paid to play hard all season. It's stupid. Some of the new awards are dumb. It's just insane. But I digress. Rob G and his co-host were having a conversation about Giannis. Why can't Giannis get to the finals more? And Giannis was asked a question about requesting a trade. So before we get too far into this video, I want y'all to listen to what they had to say, and I'll come back and let y'all know what I think. Check it out.
But yes, Giannis Antetokounmpo missed Bucks Media Day because he had the Rona. He was doing it via Zoom, so why we don't have sound of it. But he was asked by reporters, hey, we heard, it was well reported by several people, including ESPN Shams Charania, that you were considering demanding a trade out of Milwaukee. And Giannis, being the stand-up guy that he is, confirmed it. Here's what he said, quote, "Of course, yes, every summer there's truth to every report. I want to be on a team that gives me a chance to win a championship. It's a disservice to the game to not want it to be at a high level, to want your season to end in April. It's not the first time. I had the same thoughts last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. It's never going to change. I want to be among the best, complete with the best, and win another championship, period."
This is where we start to get into the pantheons of greats, right? This is where we start to have conversations of the pecking order of your top 10, your top 15, your top 20. And for me, I've said this, you and I talked about it last season, during the NBA postseason, and even just during the season. I expect more out of Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Greek freak, I want more out of him. He is a phenomenal player. He's an MVP candidate every year. He had an incredible season again last year, putting up MVP type numbers. He is a 9-time All-Star, 9-time All-NBA. This is another great one. 5-time All-Defensive, 2-time MVP, All-Star MVP, top 75 player all time. And then we go Finals MVP. We can go on and on and on. And this is why my expectations are higher for him. This is why I want him in the Eastern Conference, is what we call it. Why hasn't he been to the finals a couple more times? I'm not saying he has to have 3-4 rings already. He still has another 6-7 years of a really good career. But I'm saying he should be in the finals a couple more times. He should be guys that are competing for finals instead of us coming into the season not even thinking about the Bucks. And there's too many seasons where we don't think about the Bucks for him to be on the team. And what's the point of being just that great where you're an MVP candidate? In the Eastern Conference, where you have a chance. There's no behemoth in the Eastern Conference, right? He's not dealing with the Warriors of the West, where I can't get past them. So I think if he was sitting right here in his third chair, he would be like, yo, Dub, I'm with you. I should be in the finals more often. I should have maybe one more ring. And I want him to be competing for that year in, year out. Instead, we come into the year and you're like, they'll maybe be a 3 seed, 4. Like, you don't have a high of enough expectation. And it doesn't make any sense because he didn't come in highly touted. We didn't really know him like that. But now you look at a guy like Jokic, same thing. Jokic, all right, you're an MVP candidate every year. I'm expecting you to be in the finals more because, again, when we typically get that caliber of player in the NBA, it's usually followed with some type of dominance. Right? You get a bunch of MVPs with Tim Duncan. He stays relevantly in the finals. Obviously, 2 in the 5. LeBron stayed in the finals. Steph stayed in the finals. KD, once he got with the work, stayed in the finals. They don't even go back in the day. Isaiah Thomas and the Birds and Magic. So he's too good to, if another 5, 6, 7 years career ends, another MVP or 2, and he walked away with 1 finals appearance or 1 final win, that would be disappointing for the greatness. I mean, his reference page is littered with credentials. Literally, you know how you click on the more, it just keep falling down with credentials. And I think it's okay and fair to have a higher expectation for the caliber of player that he is, especially in the conference where there's no dominance there. It's not like he's playing 2012 through 18 LeBron.
I could not disagree with you more, and I think I'll just give you a list. Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, John Stockton, Patrick Malone, Patrick Ewing, Reggie Miller, Allen Iverson, Elgin Baylor, Steve Nash, Chris Paul. What do all those great players have in common? They never won a championship. So Giannis, So Giannis is a made man in the NBA, and he's already won a couple of MVPs. He won a championship in Milwaukee with nobody, without another top 50 player. And I'm not saying he doesn't want to win, but he did the unthinkable. Everybody was like, "You're crazy. Why would you stay in Milwaukee?" I heard "You'll never win. Go to the Miami Heat." You remember that? Mm-hmm. He could have asked out, "Go to Miami. Go play with LeBron. Go do something else." It was all out there. And he said, "No, I'm not with all that. I'm not working out with these guys. I'm not doing any of that. I'm my own dog," and he won his own championship. That championship there, to me, means so much more than if you go team up with other people. This is one that he earned. He has mad respect from people because he was able to put it together, able to win a championship in a place that normally doesn't win. That normally doesn't win. And that is what you want, is to be able to win. And he's done all that. Now, if he gets another one, that would be great. But to look down on Giannis' career in Milwaukee and say he didn't accomplish enough? Please, I just gave you some of these great players. Chris Paul has been on a gazillion teams with a gazillion guys, and he can't win. It ain't that easy to win. Ask LeBron, who's played 23 years and got 4 championships. And you're going to look at Giannis and question like, "Oh, well, he didn't have, his career wasn't that great because he only won 1 time." Are you kidding me? I think we are totally lost sight as how hard it is to win, because a couple of people have won a lot, and you think everybody should be Tom Brady or everybody should be Michael Jordan. Those are not the guys that are normal. Most people don't get to win, or if they win 1 time, and they're very fortunate for that.
This is where we disagree. If you're talking baseball or football, I'd give you that more than the NBA. In the NBA, when you're that guy and you kind of locked in, you have a chance to compete for a very long time because there's just 5 men on the court. And if you're that dominant, especially a guy like him on both ends of the floor, you typically do. I mean, look at Kawhi Leonard. He obviously was with the Spurs organization, but then he goes and wins with Toronto, and then he's competitive at least with the Clippers when he's healthy and when he's there, when he shows up. And my point is, Giannis is not even near the finals. It's let alone win another ring.
All right, so I think both guys made some great points. You know, I think there's this thing that has always been in the NBA, but especially in the modern NBA, where we are. It has always been. I think there's this thing that has always been in the NBA, but especially now in the modern NBA, that we overrate a player based on dominant stat lines. Because if you didn't see NBA in the 90s or the 80s, the early 2000s, these stat lines were if you're not taking anything in the context, will lead you to believe that these players are better, which they're not. And it will lead you to believe that more players are the type of players that, like Jordan or Magic or Bird were, that just can, that performances can get them in the finals a lot of times. But look, let's look at Mike. When Mike first came in the league, he didn't have, the Bulls were a dying organization. They were trash, bottom of the barrel organization, and they got Jordan. And even when Jordan was there, he was still playing against juggernaut teams. He was doing the Giannis wrecking ball type stuff. It took for him to be in a structured, better system, and it took for Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant to play up to their potential, so the Bulls can compete with some of the other teams that were already established with some really great players on it. So I don't want to go too far, but I do think that in today's NBA, a lot of players get overrated as far as their skill to be a championship player, as opposed to being just a great player. Like James Harden. James Harden is a great player, but James Harden is clearly not a championship player. It's not that he hasn't been on some great teams, although I will admit that Giannis, I'm not even sure if Giannis would have made it to the finals in 2021 had the Milwaukee Bucks not lost James Harden and Kyrie Irving and that playoff series, because they were having a really hard time with Brooklyn, that Brooklyn super team, and then those two guys went down. So Giannis was fortunate to make it to the finals that year, to me. I've never looked at Giannis and thought that he was this championship caliber player. Yes, he won the championship, but I just don't see Giannis like that. I seen Giannis get shut down a lot of times in the playoffs because Giannis has a lot of weaknesses, a lot. But you'll overrate Giannis because he puts up such insane numbers. But you're forgetting that the pace is higher. It's easier to score in this NBA. This is a softer NBA. So getting stats is not really a big deal in today's NBA. It's the same thing with Joker. Joker has all of these stats. Joker's only been to the finals once. I mean, when you start to question why, if someone's that great, why can't they get to the finals more? Because I kind of agree that if Giannis really is that great, why can't he get to the finals more? I do not believe that the Bucks are going back to a finals as long as Doc Rivers is their coach. Why they fired their coach when they were like 33-13 is crazy to me. Also, they were citing that it was the defense. Well, you got rid of Holiday, a defensive point guard, for Dame Lillard, a point guard that doesn't play defense. And Dame Lillard to me is another player that's not really a championship level player, but his stats might tell you something otherwise. You get Dame time, and I've never been a big believer in Dame time. Yes, he's big in the clutch, but he can't get to the finals. But in the East, if Giannis is really that great in the East, it seems like he would have been to at least 1 or 2 more finals. And it's not that he didn't win a championship with nobody. Chris Middleton is a beast. I like Chris Middleton. He is a serviceable number 2, even though he's been dealing with injuries. I don't even know if Chris Middleton is still on the team. Is he still on the team? I don't know. But everything I'm saying right now is a wash. As long as Doc Rivers is the coach of the Bucks, they ain't going to the finals. They're going to have some of the most embarrassing meltdowns in playoff history while Doc Rivers is their coach, because Doc Rivers is an overrated, terrible coach. But, let me know what y'all think, Ring Culture. Is Giannis overrated? I just think that today's NBA, the stats of the individual player will lead you to believe that a player is greater than he is. So I think it's because of his stats. He puts up such enormous stats that it will lead you to believe that he is greater than what he is. Because I agree, in the Eastern Conference, you can't get to the finals and you this type of beast. I don't know. Or is it his team? Y'all let me know down below. But anyway, ring culture, always remember, we are ring culture, because the whole point of the culture is to win rings. For the culture, I love y'all. Peace.